Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you all are doing fine. My name is Mohammad Badruddin and today I come up with another lab number 12 from Access Control module of server side topics as I'm covering a series of Web Security Academy from Portswigers. Okay, so this lab is basically lab 12, multi-step process with no access control on one step. Okay, so sometime what happened, I will show you in a minute, but I just want to describe a bit. Sometimes what happened, developers make a function or business logic over a series of steps to achieve or complete the task. Okay, like to perform a task in the application. So application takes two or three steps, right? So we will see in a minute what is the lab, what is the agenda. We must first see that. So this lab has an admin panel with a flawed multi-step process for changing a user's role. Okay. So to change the user's role, there are more than one steps. Okay, to follow. But what happened in between these steps? There will be one step we will find which is not validated. Okay, by the application means not checking there whether this action is performed by the administrator or not. So at that point we will find the vulnerability. Okay, you can familiarize yourself with the admin panel by logging in using the credentials. So they gave us the credentials for administrator so that we can uh, we can see the behavior of the application, right? So to solve the lab login using the credentials winner, okay, and exploit the flawed access control to promote yourself, become an administrator. Okay, so let's jump into it. I go to my account. Okay, let's start the proxy. So first of all, I'm going to log in with the administrator user so that I can understand and I can show you that how application handle that process to upgrade the user, right? So password is admin, don't save. Okay, we got admin panel, go to the admin panel. Okay, so this is the process to upgrade or downgrade a user. So first of all, the first process is that when it loads the page, it loads all the users with their roles, right? So the username is Carlos and the role is normal, means it is the normal user. The administrator is admin user, so its role is admin. Winner is normal user. Okay, so this is the first step and I'm going to write it here. Okay, so the first step is to load the users and their roles. Fine. Okay, let's try Carlos user to upgrade. So I get the upgrade button. Okay, so the second step was to select the user to be upgrade. Okay, to be upgraded. Okay, so this is the second step, and the third step is what we are seeing here. It is asking for the confirmation, and this is very good because if we directly click the button upgrade user and user got upgraded, so that could be uh, suppose that an administrator accidentally click some user and click upgrade button. Fine. So to confirmation for this act or action is good. So application looks good. Fine. So confirmation. So there are three steps. Okay. So let's take this action. Yes. And you can see Carlos become administrator and winner our account normal user is still normal. I think you got these three steps. Now it's time to go to the burp suite and we will see. So this is the login post request, no problem. This is the admin. When we click on the admin panel, so when we click in that admin panel, so the application loads all these users with their roles. So this is the first step. The second step is the post request on the admin role path, and there when we click the upgrade button after choosing which user need to upgrade, so it takes the username is Carlos and the action what we click the button upgrade, right? So this is the second step. Second step, this to select the user to be upgraded. Okay, fine. So what is the third step? There is one more post request when we confirm our action that yes, okay, I want to upgrade that user. So action is upgrade, confirm is true, and username is Carlos. So there are these three steps to perform to upgrade a user, right? Now what I need to do, I need to check each step, and we need to find where the vulnerability exists and where developer escape or forget to make validation. Okay, so if we go to these requests, we can see there is no CSRF token, there is only session. Okay, so what we will do, we will go and we will, in this step we will change the session ID with the normal user, and we will see that okay, we can load these users or not with the normal user session ID, because application validate according to the session IDs. So if the session ID belongs to the administrator user, only then it can load these information, otherwise not. So what we need to do, we need to find, okay, let's capture first process is this, so send to the repeater. Second process is this, so send it to the repeater. And third process is this, so send it to the repeater. So we send /admin role, where we just select the user, and here we confirm the user, right? So these are the three steps. Now what I need to do, I will open one more browser. Let's see, private browser. Okay, and what I will do here, just copy this, paste here. Okay, and here I will log in with the winner user, because winner user is normal user. Okay, come on, I think my internet. So I'm gonna pause the video and come up. Okay, so we open up the new browser, and let's copy this, copy and paste it here. Fine, let's go to the login page, and this time I'm going to log in winner and password is Peter. Okay, we are logging here as winner because I want to see the session ID. Okay, so session ID is in the store tab, and this is the value for the session. So double click, copy this value and go to the bug suite. Fine, so first of all, this is the first process, okay, where application load the user and their rules. So I want to check whether this process or this step is vulnerable or not. So when I send this request, okay, 200, and the application loads user, because this is the session ID for the administrator. So application knows, okay, this step is done by the, this action is taken by the administrator. Now what I am going to do, I'm going to before this winner session ID, I'm going to copy here, and administrator session ID I'm going to copy here. Okay, so copy this, and instead of administrator session ID, I'm changing it with the session ID of winner, and let's send the request and see what response we get. So as expected, application say you are unauthorized to do this task. Okay, and the message comes, admin interface only available if the login user is administrator. Okay, the same thing if we do here, instead of my account, I'm winner user, and if I try to access this, it is saying okay. Means in this step, on the first step, the application is checking the authorization. Okay, so it's time to check the second step. The second step is where we select the user to upgrade or downgrade. Okay, so this is the user I want to say, because we already upgrade this user and you can see admin. So now this time I'm going to downgrade this user. So instead of upgrade, I'm going to downgrade, and again I'm going to change this session ID from the administrator to the winner user, right? And let's perform this. Again, unauthorized means even on this step, application is checking whether this action is taken by administrator or any other user. If it is administrator, okay, it will do this for us, but if it is not administrator user, it will say unauthorized. Very good. Now so I can say check. Here is also check. Now go to the third step where application is going to ask the confirmation from the administrator. So this is the third one, and same thing I'm going to do. So instead of upgrade, I'm going to downgrade. Okay, confirmation is equal to true and the username is equal to Carlos. So this is the administrator session. I'm going to remove this and put winner session ID, right? P2 and yeah, this one. And let's see, send it. Wow, that's good. That's good. We found the 302 status code, means it's redirecting, and the response shows us that our request is processed. Means the third step is vulnerable, where application or is not checking whether this action is taken by administrator or any other user. So we already downgrade the user. Now come here, you can see right now I am admin, the Carlos user is admin, but if we refresh, so it becomes normal user, right? Because we downgrade this. So the agenda is for this application to to solve this lab, we need to upgrade the winner user, right? So in the same process, if we change Carlos user to winner, we will solve the lab, but I'm not going to solve this right now because I'm going to uh, perform the same process with the Python script. Okay, so I'm going to add new. Okay, so the first thing, the process is what I need to do for the custom script. So the first thing is extract the winner user session ID. Okay, this is the first step. The second step is login as administrator. Fine. And the third step is post request for the third step. Okay, where application is not checking, okay, if the action is performed by the admin or normal user. Okay, so these three steps we need to follow to build our custom exploit, right? So bring it here, come here, slang user bin in and Python 3. I'm going to import my first module request. The second is import okay, first with the request, because right now I need only this. So the first definition, the first method I'm going to define is get wiener, WIENER wiener session. Okay, and it needs URL. I'm going to do it in a normal way. You can I already mentioned before in the previous labs, you can go and check how to add the arguments with the when we run the script. Okay, so def same method, copy and paste it here. Fine. Okay, so now what we need to do is, okay, I'm just gonna save so that we got some colors. So here I'm going to say lab12.py in the desktop folder. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is log in as Wiener user and extract the cookie session ID for the Wiener user, right? So not get, actually it should be post, no matter, this is only the name, you can put as you want, but I just with the name I just want to mention that okay, we are going to send the post request. Okay, so in the post request we must mention the data. So in the curly braces, data would be username, okay, and its value is wiener. Then the second parameter is password, okay, and its value is Peter, right? Now r is equal to request dot get and URL is equal to URL1, let's say. I will define it in a minute. So data is equal to data, comma verify is equal to false, and allow redirects is equal to true, because I want it to redirect so that it can load the page for the Wiener user. That's good. Again, one more thing I want to do here. I want to send all the traffic through my proxy. So proxies is equal to and here I am mentioned HTTP proxy. Address is http:// this is my loopback address and this is the port https, and I'm using the same URL for this :8088. Okay, and here I need to mention that I'm going to send all the traffic through proxy, okay, through burp suite. Now capture the response. Response is equal to r dot text, and if this response contains wiener, okay, wiener string in res, so I'm gonna give a message to user who is gonna run this script. Wiener sorry, logged in successfully. Okay, save and let's run the script. So clear cd desktop and python 3, and my script is going to be lab12.py. Okay, sorry, this will not work. I know why, because I do not mention the URL, because the URL value is URL1. So I need to mention here URL1 is equal to URL is equal to URL. Here I can say, from here I can call URL1, and the value of URL1 should be this value. Copy and paste it here, but slash login. Okay, so save this, and I make URL is equal to URL because URL1, this argument I called from here. Okay, and this is the value. So let's go clear and run the script. Okay, so okay, import URL lib3. Wait a moment. Okay, and URL lib3 dot disable underscore warnings. Fine, save this and let's try one more time. Nope. Why is it? Username Wiener, password Peter. Okay, data is equal to data. Oh my god, I did a blunder because I'm sending the GET request. Nope. Sometime happens. Clear. Fine, good. So now in the response we get Wiener, because as we know, log out and log in again. Wiener and Peter. So when we log in the page we got Wiener. So if after login, if it gets this string is present, so it will say okay, Wiener successfully logged in. But what I have to do here is I need the session cookie, not these all the things. So what I want to do is okay, I'm going to say is false. I don't want to redirect, and here I want to say instead of this capture the, and here if r dot status underscore code is equal to 302, because here I do not want to redirect. Okay, so when we do not redirect, it will show us 302 response. So if the response code is 302, what I want to capture the session ID, right? So raw underscore cookie is equal to r dot cookies, cookies, I think, yeah. So now print raw underscore cookies. Okay, save. Now let's see whether we can extract the cookie for the Wiener user or not, because our first target is to capture the cookie for Wiener user. So as you can see, we got the session ID, but we have all these things. So we do not want this. We just want to filter all these things. And to filter all these things, I'm going to use the regex. So import re and instead of printing the cookie, what I'm gonna do is session ID is equal to read dot search, and here comma raw underscore cookie. Okay, and here what we want to search. So if I go here, this is the whole list, but I want from here to this space, okay, up to the space. So we can do session session is equal to any string up to all the way this slash s means space. Okay, so now I'm not going to explain this because I have done 2-3 times in the previous videos, so I just divide the string into two groups. Okay, and let's say print plus, okay, got session ID for winner, okay, and session ID, because this is going to divide it into two groups, so I need to call the second group because the second group contains the value for the session ID. So group and 1, save it, and let's see whether it's working or not. Session ID, sorry, I must put the plus. So clear, run it again. Okay, so it needs to, because this value I'm going to say is string, and save, go again, session ID dot group. So it said no group. Why? Session is equal to this should be this. Come on, yeah, we got it. So the first step was to retrieve the session ID for the winner user so that we can put it later in the third post request, right? And we must need to refresh this page, otherwise the session will time out. Okay, now the second step is to log in as administrator. So let's go and define one more method, and one more thing I want to do is, let's say, return this value, copy and paste. Okay, save it. Let's go and define another one. So for that, the second step is to post admin, and it needs URL. Fine, good. So the URL will be same, URL1, because this URL is responsible for the login. So def post admin URL data, and so we can do like this, but I want to show you real quick a good one. You can also do this. Okay, I'm going to say admin user is equal to input, and inside input enter the admin user name, okay, and admin underscore pass. So I will take input from the user, okay, enter the admin password, okay, and whatever user input it will save in this variable, So right now I'm going to write it here, username, and instead of this I will put that variable admin user, copy, paste, and this is gonna be the password, and instead of manually writing this I'm going to do this, okay. Fine. Now the next step is data is completed, R is equal to, and one more thing, the next process we are going to do within the session. So session is equal to request dot session, okay. So session dot post, and URL is equal to URL, comma data is equal to data, comma verify is equal to false, and allow redirects is equal to true, okay. And the next thing is proxies equal to proxies, right. So capture this data in the res, and same like if administrator in the response. So what I'm going to do is print logged in as administrator successfully. Fine, save this, and I'm not gonna execute this method. I just want to check whether admin user is logged in successfully or not. So clear print y, what I, okay, sorry, because this should be save, and let's run it again. Okay, so the administrator is the username and the password is password. No, come on. Okay, run it again. Administrator, admin is the password, right? Come on, yeah, we logged in successfully. Now the third step is post request for the third request to upgrade the user, okay. So you can say the third step is to upgrade the user. Save and come on here. Fine. So the third step will be post underscore upgrade, and this is going to get URL as argument, def post underscore upgrade URL, because this is going to be the post request. So we need to create the data, but as you remember that in the post request for upgrading the user, this time we need the session cookie, session ID for the winner user instead of administrator user. So from this method we need to extract the winner session ID and put it here in this post request. So this time cookies equal to this and say the cookie name. What is this? This is the session, right? So we are going to write it here, session, and the value of session, instead of running here, I'm going to copy this and paste it here, right? So when this method will run, it will come to this line and see, okay, cookie is equal to session and the session ID is this, so it will call this method from the first method, and the first method will run, login, and extract the session ID and put it here. Okay, so next is data is equal to same like before, but the data would be, what are the data? So let's go to the burp suite. Three parameters: action, confirmed, and username. Why we choose this step? Because this step is not validating and checking whether administrator user performing this task or another user. So the first is action. Okay, so action is upgrade. Okay, comma. Next is confirmed. Confirmed spelling is okay, and the confirmed value is true. The third one is username. Username, and we will first check with the Carlos user. Okay, if it becomes okay, then we will go for the winner user, right? Now the same thing, R is equal to because we are taking from the same session as the administrator, so session dot post, okay, URL is equal to URL, comma, data is equal to data, comma, verified, not verified, equal to false, comma, allow redirects equal to true, and proxy is equal to proxies. Fine. Next, save the response is equal to r dot text, and then if, so what happened when we make this user, come on, don't, yeah, it's still up. Okay, so when we upgrade the user, it shows me Carlos, and instead of normal show me the admin, right? And here what we are doing is upgrading the user. So if we got like the string Carlos space admin, if we got this in the response, so what we will do, we will print a message for the user and say plus user Carlos is user is upgraded, right? Okay, save. And one more thing I want to mention, we need to specify the URL, so I will call the URL2, and here I will define URL2 is equal to, and what is the URL2? We can copy it from here, copy URL, go here and paste it. So this is the URL. Okay, save it and let's go run, and we will see whether now Carlos user is normal user. Okay, so clear and run it again. It is asking for the administrator username, so administrator, and password is admin. Logged in successfully, got the session ID, Let's refresh this. Okay. Okay. So here why it's not printing, because in our, I mentioned here, if this string is present in the response, but I write the string admin because all the alphabets are in capital letters. Save it again and run it again. Administrator, nope, administrator, and password is admin. Now it go first for the login of the administrator, then it will come here because this method is called, then it goes to the cookie, and inside the session it is retrieving from the first method, so it goes to this method and retrieve the cookie, come and put it here. And one more mistake we did, what, we forget to pass the cookie. So here user is upgraded. Okay, let's go here, go to the proxy, this is the last request, and it enters the cookie value, but here we can mention cookies equal to cookies. Okay, and why it's printed that user is upgraded, because we already upgrade that user, right? So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use it for the winner user, WIENER, winner and admin. And if we can see here, now winner is normal user. Okay, the next time when we refresh, it should bring us admin. So save everything, everything is good to go. Let's go clear and administrator, admin, winner, admin. If it's got in the response, allow redirects. Okay, true. This is false. This is the data. URL2. Okay. User is upgraded. Why it's not printing? I will come in a minute. Just refresh this. Oh, come on. The internet connection again. Having a problem, I think. Okay, I come in a minute. Is up. Let's see this because it has something. Because when we refresh, it's still saying that winner user is a normal user. Okay. So post upgrade URL cookies equal to session and URL1. Okay. Action is equal to upgrade and confirmed is equal to true, and username is equal to, come on, I'm doing a lot of mistakes today, winner, not Carlos. Okay, run the script again. Administrator, admin, come on, this time don't show me, come on, yeah, okay. And now our user, the lab is solved. I make refresh and yes, winner is admin. So today I had a lot of mistakes. Actually it happens when you want to finish a task quickly, then it most of the time happens to you. So I hope you guys understand this script, because this is far easy. Okay, in next coming videos I will even show you how to post header with the post request, pass the header in the post request. So finally we solved the lab. If you like this content, Please share and subscribe, and thank you very much.